For 11 years, Cassie Ventura smiled for cameras, walked red carpets, and stood silently beside one of the most powerful men in music. But behind the lights and designer gowns was a woman trapped in silence. To the world, she looked like the perfect partner to Sean Diddy Combs. But what was really happening all those years? In late 2023, everything changed. News broke. Not whispers, but detailed accusations of control, violence, and fear. People were shocked. How could this have gone on for so long? Cassie wasn't just surviving a breakup. She was surviving years of manipulation, locked in a world she couldn't escape. And while some still defended Diddy, others began asking, what else has been hidden? Cassie's story isn't just a headline. It's a timeline of a woman who tried to leave and found the strength to do it, even when the odds were against her. This is the truth behind Cassie and Diddy. The power, the pain, and the moment she finally said enough. Because this time, the silence didn't win. In 2007, Cassie joined Bad Boy Records, chasing a dream in music. By 2008, she and Diddy were quietly a couple, though few knew the real story behind the smiles. The age gap was 17 years, but it wasn't just age that made things uneven. Behind the scenes, people close to Cassie saw the early signs. Diddy controlled everything. From what she wore to when she could speak, her schedule, her phone, even her interviews needed his approval. She couldn't just be an artist. She had to be his shadow. Cassie became isolated. She rarely spoke publicly. Her music slowed down, then stopped. While Diddy ruled TV, fashion, and business, her career seemed to vanish. Was it bad timing or something worse? The more his power grew, the smaller her spotlight became. And what looked like the perfect couple was never really perfect at all. By 2012, whispers had grown louder. People were saying Diddy wasn't just protective, he was possessive. At parties, his bodyguards didn't just watch the door, they watched Cassie. Where she went, who she spoke to, always tracked. Behind the scenes, things got darker. Multiple sources say he had tracking apps on her phone. He knew her every move. Even her money was tightly controlled. Then suddenly Cassie disappeared. For nearly 2 years, fans heard nothing. No music, no interviews. Many thought she was resting or working quietly. But in truth, she was trapped, under constant pressure and watch. In 2023, leaked messages painted a haunting picture. Cassie wrote of living in fear, being monitored all the time. It wasn't just control, it was surveillance, isolation, and a breaking point quietly building behind the spotlight. And no one on the outside truly knew, until it was almost too late. In 2016, something finally snapped. TMZ reported a fight between Cassie and Diddy. Not a rumor, a real event. She tried to leave. He allegedly took her phone, chased her in a car, and the police were called. The headlines made it sound small, just another celebrity couple drama. But for those watching closely, it was the first public crack in their carefully built image. After that day, Cassie changed. She stopped posting about Diddy. No more sweet messages, no more red carpet smiles together. It wasn't loud, but it was deliberate. A quiet rebellion had started. Privately, Cassie was making moves, slowly, carefully. She started reaching out to legal support. She was planning something big, not just a breakup, but an escape from a world she never controlled. And what came next would finally reveal what she'd been living through all along. By 2018, Cassie finally broke free. She ended things with Diddy, and this time, it was for good. Not long after, she began a new chapter with Alex Fine, her personal trainer. They married, had children, and shared moments that felt real and safe. But Diddy wasn't done. Insiders claimed he quietly used his power to stop her. Legal threats, pressure behind the scenes, and music releases that just vanished. Cassie wasn't just leaving a relationship, she was leaving a whole industry that didn't protect her. She had no label, no big team, and no powerful names backing her anymore. She had to start from zero. And yet, she stayed silent for years. While Diddy walked red carpets, won awards, and kept his image clean. But silence doesn't last forever. Because in 2023, Cassie finally spoke out. And the world would never see Diddy the same again. In November 2023, the silence shattered. Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy, not for drama, but for something much deeper. She accused him of rape, trafficking, abuse, and years of psychological control. The world froze. The news exploded across social media, headlines, and talk shows. People couldn't believe what they were reading. Or maybe they could, and just never said it before. And then, just as fast, it was over. The lawsuit was settled privately within 24 hours. No trial, no court battle. But by then, the internet had already seen the details. The damage, or the truth, was out. Why so fast? That's what everyone asked. Many saw it as a move to hide the truth, to stop the world from hearing more. But the most powerful part wasn't the lawsuit. It was Cassie's bravery to speak after surviving years of silence and control. She didn't just break up with Diddy, she broke a cycle. And in doing so, she gave a voice to others who'd been silent too. And now, the music world, the media, and Diddy's empire will never be the same again. This wasn't just a breakup story. It wasn't drama. It was a system of control. A world of fear, silence, and power that lasted for over 10 years. Behind the designer clothes and red carpets was a woman trying to survive. The truth changes how we see everything. This wasn't just Cassie and Diddy. It was a look at how power can trap, how love can be used to control, and how silence becomes part of the prison. Cassie's story wasn't gossip. It was a warning. A reminder that people we admire, music legends, stars, icons, can also be the ones who hurt in the shadows. Her case forced the world to ask hard questions. How many other women are out there, smiling for cameras, but hiding their truth? How many powerful men are never held accountable? Cassie was once a rising star, known more for who she dated than for what she did. But now, she owns her story. She owns her voice. And that voice is being heard. Louder than ever. In breaking her silence, she didn't just free herself, she gave strength to others to speak too. Cassie is no longer silent, and in finding her voice, she didn't just tell her truth. She cracked open a conversation the industry can't ignore anymore. Because behind every headline, there's a human story. Pain, courage, survival. Stories that go beyond the glamour and deserve to be told with care. If you want more unfiltered looks at the real lives behind the spotlight, subscribe now and stay with us as we dig into what truly matters. Now let us ask you, do you think the truth finally came out, or is it still hiding behind power and money?